almost, I think, 11 o'clock in the morning, Saturday, and get this live stream done early. None other than I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025. Talk about it, talk about the films also, the other films, I mean. And then I did see the trailer for it, and I gotta tell you, I am thrilled. I am hyped. I am ready for July 18th. I'm actually gonna be seeing July 19th, that Saturday, since I do work in the afternoons on Monday through Friday. But we're gonna talk about the trailer. We're gonna talk about what I think of it, and we're gonna talk about uh, the other movies in the franchise as well. So get a thing of water or beverage or some snacks, and let's have some fun here. I know this movie has been talked about for a very, very long time. The first movie came out in '97. The second film, which was titled I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, came out in '98. And then the direct-to-video sequel that didn't have Julie or Ray in it, I'll Always Know, was terrible. Man, I saw it one time, and that's all I needed to see. It had really nothing to do. I think it was basically the ghost of Ben Willis or something, if I can remember correctly. I'm not really sure, but I don't really count that one. This is an actual true sequel to the first two films. This new one that's coming out this July, so I'm really excited. My understanding is that it's gonna be centered around a new group of kids. Basically, it's gonna be like almost like a little bit similar to the first film, a little bit of how things transpire. Of course, I know Freddie Prinze Jr. filmed his scenes, and I know Jennifer Love Hewitt came in late with the filming, so she filmed her scenes. So I don't know how much film presence she's going to have in the new film. We're going to have to wait and see. But let's go to the trailer, and the first thing you see is you see this young couple. The boyfriend is telling his girlfriend to go up and take that bath. And then next thing you know, a harpoon spear goes right through his shoulder, like through his shoulder right here. And I'm like, okay, this is really unique because usually the fisherman or fisherwoman, I'm wondering, is this going to be a woman this time we're getting as the killer? And who is she going to be related to? That's what I'm really excited about, because the scene after the kid gets the harpoon spear in the shoulder, you do see the killer walking. The boots, the slicker. The slicker is what Ryan Phillippe's character had said in the first film. You look at the way the killer's walking, it kind of resembles a little bit of how a female walks. I'm not, certain by that. But if you go back to Friday the 13th Part 2, when you see Jason for the first time, his feet walking, it's actually the costume designer. I mean, that's her standing in for Jason, the foot part and stuff like that. So, yeah, to me, when you see the killer in the trailer for the first time, when they show the boots and stuff, it reminds me of a female walking. It looks like that because, sometimes some females have a certain way of walking a little bit than us guys, but it just it's going to be interesting to see if it's related, if it's somebody that's related to Ben Willis or not. I don't know. Maybe we'll get some hints as to what happened to Ben Willis, but I'm pretty sure he got killed in the second film. Uh, um, it's I love the whole thing where they get to the town hall meeting. Here comes Ray, and this isn't the only time Southport has had this violence before. And then it pans out, and then it goes to Elsa and Helen Shivers' graves, which I thought was really cool. I'm wondering what that's going to be about. If either Ray's going to visit it, or if Julie's going to visit it. We're gonna have to wait and see. I do think that it's really cool. From what I heard, there's been rumors that the director, it's a female director, there's been rumors I've heard that Sarah Michelle Gellar is not going to be in it or something, and then I guess that there's going to be like a surprise or something with this movie. I don't know what that's going to be, but I just hope when they come out with a second trailer they don't reveal too much more, because this first trailer was perfect. I like the fact that the one girl says, oh, I need another, I'm gonna need a drink in this way and that way because I think it's the one that gets the card says, I know what you did last summer. Same way how Julie got it in the first film. I know what you did last summer, and it's like I'm wondering, what is going to be the start of the whole thing? Is Are they going to hit somebody, and this is how it's going to start off, like they did with the original film, where they hit the fisherman, and then all of a sudden he comes back. And spoiler alert, if you haven't seen these movies, it is the fisherman that comes back and wreaks havoc on everybody in Southport. Basically, the kids that he's after the kids that tried to kill him, but then there's other people that weren't involved in that he killed that were in the way, like Johnny Galecki's character in the first film. He, if you know who Johnny Galecki is, he was Darlene's boyfriend in the Roseanne TV show series. I remember, him doing the whole fishing crab thing right there, and all of a sudden here comes the shadow, and here comes the hook goes right up into his lower mandible and stuff like that. That was pretty sick. It was pretty sad too. He was, I guess he was kind of an ass to Barry. Of course, Ryan Phillippe, who played Barry in the first one, was a badass anyway. Uh, and he goes and accuses frickin' Max, who was played by Johnny Galecki's character, stuff like that. I'm wondering if we're gonna get some shades of that in this film. I don't know what's gonna happen. All I can say is that I think, a lot of these trailers, I think with this trailer here particularly, this is the only trailer you need for this new I Know What You Did Last Summer. You don't need any more, because we don't need it revealed like with Halloween Kills. Well, they pretty much revealed in that one trailer the entire firefighter squad team gets massacred by Michael Myers. That was pretty dumb on their part. I mean, they could have had that for a jaw-dropping moment if they would have just hid that, and we go to see the movies and saw it and like, oh man, he's tearing them apart. Holy shit, and everything else. Look at the massacre, the carnage. And I hope they don't do another trailer for this film where they reveal more and more stuff. Just keep it basic, keep it the same as the first one. Maybe you could add like maybe one more scene in, but I think it's like back in the day. I just liked it the way they've done trailers in the past, where they didn't reveal anything too much. But I think another scene is pretty cool is when the fisherman is actually he comes out, he or she, whoever it is, comes out, and I guess somebody gets dragged from a wooden floor or something, if I remember that correctly. But I do like the part when they get to Jennifer Love Hewitt, when the one girl asks, "We need your help." But they show, I think Julie James is a college professor at a university. They do show her walking, and then right after the girl says, "We need your help," and they go and they show the back of her, and she slowly turns around, and they show like a part of the cliff, and then Juliet says to the girl, right when they're at the cliff scene in the trailer, something about, "Can I ask you something?" And then it goes back to Julie again and says, "What did you do last summer?" And the look on Jennifer Love Hewitt's face, it was great. I mean, the dark eyes, I mean, just her face, everything. It sold it. To me, it sold it, because this franchise here is not as big as Scream. But, with Jennifer Love Hewitt doing that whole dialogue for that film, so let me ask you a question. What did you do last summer? When they show her, when she says, "What did you do last summer?" her eyes and stuff like that, that reminds me of a coworker of mine that used to work with me at my current job. Of course, she looks maybe something similar to her a little bit, but I mean, she has like the same eye color. I don't know if Jennifer Love Hewitt's eye color is like hazel or dark brown or dark. I think it's dark, but just the way she delivered it with the facial expression a little bit, you can tell it was a serious tone. So it's really going to be interesting to see what is going to happen in it. How much of a big part that she's going to play in. Because like I said, she came in late. They were halfway done with the film, but I heard too that they did a whole bunch of reshoots with her, which I think would be interesting. So it's going to be interesting to see if she's going to be see if she's going to have some scenes with Freddie Prinze Jr. We'll have to wait and see if that ever happens. you know, I remember, going back with the first film, seeing it. I actually own them. I got my brother has got them now, but I asked him if I can borrow them so I can watch them so I can get ready for his new film. I've always liked the aspect of the whole Southport being like a small sea community, like I mean, where they're at with all the fireworks and stuff's like a boardwalk almost, that whole scene there. I thought that was really really cool. I think the thing I like too is the ghost story that Ray is telling his friends about a guy that uses a hook that escaped the mental asylum, all that stuff. Now we didn't get that whole thing of Ben Willis being in a mental asylum, and what made him crazy, I believe, if I remember correctly, he killed the guy that killed his daughter when they were driving home. So he killed that guy. The guy that was sitting on the cliff in the first film, Uh, so, like I said, we get to the second film. It's a totally different story there. I love it because it's on Tower Bay. Basically, he found out that Ben Willis does have a son, and they lured Julie and her friends to Tower Bay for a contest that was fake to get her there to basically kill her and her friends off. That's basically what it was. So, and then, that was it. We didn't get a sequel. We didn't get an actual follow-up sequel to this until this year coming up. Because the other one that we had, I'll always know was no good. Anyway, I like that film. I'll always know what you did last summer. I don't know what to say. I think it's each to their own. I mean, if you like it, I only seen it one time, and that's all I'm seeing it. To me, I don't count it as a sequel to the first two films. So, but it is going to be really interesting to see what the motive of the killer is going to be. Are we going to have? It looks like we might have a same scenario situation with this one than we did, like we had in the first one, where they come from a party or something, and one gets distracted and they hit somebody, and then they think the person's dead, and then the person comes back and hunts them down one by one and tries killing them all off. So. I would love it to see it as a female killer because we don't get enough of those. I mean, the female killers we had in films or slasher films, we've had, Mrs. Voorhees, we've had Nancy Loomis, which was Billy Loomis's mother. We had Brenda Bates from Urban Legend, who was played by Rebecca Gayheart. We've had, I think, a couple more female horror villains. I know, you want to go back all the way back to the 80s too, again, with Angela Baker. Technically, that's actually a male, not a female. It's a male looking like believed to be a female, but yeah, I mean, you get a lot of stuff, and I think what this is going to be really interesting is that, he can use he or she, whoever it is in the slicker, can use a harpoon gun. We never saw that with Ben Willis. He never used a harpoon gun. He used the hook. He lost his hand near the end of the first film, and then it got replaced with a hook, and that was his. That's his main weapon. He never used anything else but the hook. So this killer here is going to be using both the hook and it uses a harpoon. So I'm wondering what other weapons is this killer going to be using in the new film here. Is it going to be like Scream 6, the shotgun, something like that? Well, basically, it's the harpoon gun, so it's got similarities. It's got, it's a harpoon, it's a gun, it can shoot, not bullets, but a spear. So, yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, who knows who this killer is going to be? Who knows if it's going to have any relation to Ben Willis? Who knows who's going to live? Who's going to survive? Is Ray going to pass away? Or not pass away, but get murdered? Annihilated on screen like Dewey did in Scream 5. There's no way Julie James is gonna die. But I honestly think, and somebody brought it up, that there could be, if this does well, there's probably gonna be a sequel to it. And I would love to see a sequel to it where we actually get Jennifer Love Hewitt back throughout the entire film. So that would be really, really cool, where she has a starring role again. That would be really something, And I know some people think, she's not slim and slender like she used to be. She doesn't get the hour-shaped glass body like she had in the 90s. I did see recent interviews of her. She gained weight and stuff like that. She looks good with weight. Even in the trailer, she looks good. I mean, it doesn't matter. Because this is what happens when we get older, or particularly with women. When they have kids, they gain weight this way and that way. It doesn't matter, guys. They're still the same person, but it's all what you make it. It's all in what you make it. Now um, I know for the ending sequence at I Still Know, when Julie gets drugged underneath her bed and they cut out the black and white to the credits. She does, if I remember correctly, she does see Ben Wills under her bed through a mirror. Now, whether that was a nightmare or what, but I was thinking, well, we're gonna get a third one. We're gonna get a third one. He survived it. Are we gonna find out that he actually is dead in this new one? I'm thinking that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna say that he is actually truly dead. Ben Willis is truly dead, the original killer. So we'll have to wait and see. If you guys have any questions, just feel free to ask me. I don't know how long this live stream is going to go. I'm already over 16 minutes into it. One thing I did like about the I know did last summer, the two films that we got was Jennifer Love Hewitt being back. Back to back doing both of them, and then getting to see the walks of I don't think she sings the name over Brandy. Brandy playing Carla, and then we had Mekhi Phifer playing forgot what Mekhi Phifer's character was in the sequel. I know he did, but I thought he was really good. Matthew Siddle, I think that's how you say his name. I thought he was really good. And of course, you get appearance by Jack Black, which was comical. Guy was nutty as hell, crazy. It's all good. It's all good. Like that. They're just really, really crazy stuff with Jack Black. I don't think a lot of people, when they think of Jack Black, I don't think a lot of people remember Jack Black being in I Still Know, but he had like the dreadlocks and stuff like that. It was crazy, man, for that time. It was in '98. And I was actually in junior high when the second movie came out. Actually, I was in junior high when the first two movies came out, because the first movie came out the same time, the same year as Scream 2 came out. So, yeah, I was in junior high when both of these, the first two films came out, which I thought was pretty cool. Of course, I wasn't old enough to see it, so when I go in and see the new one this July, it'll be the first I Know What You Did Last Summer film that I've seen in theater, because I was too young yet to actually see I wasn't of age yet to see the first two, because me being in junior high and whatnot. But yeah, so it's really going to be interesting. I'm wondering how much of the budget they're going to have, like with the battling scenes, because we had that almost. It was, I would say, probably almost a fight between Ben and Will on the boat in the first film. I thought that was Ben and Ray on the boat, not Ben and Will. What am I thinking? Yeah, Ben and Ray on the boat, and you had Moose. You had the actor Moose Watson, who did great with the Ben Will's character, and right when Ray gets on the fisherman boat, Ben Will says something like, "Welcome aboard, Ray." He has that weird smile. He has that hat on, that weird smile and stuff like that. And the way that they were fighting and stuff too, it was like, I was amazed that, Moose Watson can actually move as good as he was able to, because I think at the time he had to have been maybe close to, I want to say maybe 50 maybe, almost his 50s. I don't know how old Moose Watson really is. I'd probably have to look that up. But the way I think Ray picks up some type of pole on the boat and starts lunging it at him, and the way Ben Wells, or Moose Watson that's playing Ben Wells is just backing up, and then he blocks it with the hook thing and stuff like that. I thought that was really good. Now I don't know if that was Moose doing that stunt there, but if it was, that's pretty cool. Why would you need a stunt if you're you're going back trying to block this spear thing that Ray is throwing, is lunging at you with like this and this and that. I don't know what the hell it was. I know it was some type of pole or something that he was doing it with. But then you get to the second film, the third act, that was something else. It was almost like a one-on-one battle with I forgot. Hey, I forgot what's his name. Matthew Siddle's character's name against Ray. It was almost like a football match, almost like tackling match, almost, because I remember, Matthew Settle tackles him and stuff like that, and basically Ben Wilson ends up killing his own son in that film because just stand him up, and he runs while his son is holding Ray, and then Ray ducks out of the way, and then Willis goes down on his son with the hook and kills his own son. And that was pretty insane. I like the lighting for the second film, especially at night when it's storming. You get the lightning, and they show a couple scenes with the tower. The whole scene where they actually do the third and final act, I believe it was in the graveyard in I Still Know. I really like that, especially with the tombstone where they sprayed Julie James's name on there. Julie, Here Lies Julie James or something on the tombstone. I believe that's what it was. I'm not really sure. And I don't know if it was in the first film that I think it was in this. I think it was in I Still Know she says, but my grave stays open or closed, whatever she says, that line. And I love that line when she actually shoots him too in I Still Know. It says, just fucking die or something like that. And he falls right into the shallow grave. And I thought that was pretty epic. That was pretty good. I don't know if I would ever meet Jennifer Love Hewitt. I don't know if I would have her sign anything from I Know What You Did. I Still Know. I think that would be the line that I'd probably have her put down if she would do quotes. It says just fucking die like that. That would be really cool. Just to have that on a I Still Know poster. So. With this new one, just thinking about it, there's not really much there, but the trailer, just seeing, the Elsa and Helen Shivers' grave. Wondering, is Ray going in to visit the grave, or is Julie gonna visit the grave? I hope everything's going good with you, Ace. It's been really good here. It's a nice cold morning. We're just talking about the I Know What You Did Last Summer trailer and its sequels and whatnot here. We don't really know too much who's actually going to be visiting the graves of Helen and Elsa. I mean, is it going to be Ray? Is it going to be Julie? Or is it going to be the new kids? So, what do you guys think what's going to happen in this new film? Do you think it's going to be a female killer this time? And if so, is it going to be related to Ben Willis? Or is it going to be somebody that's not related to him? Is Ben Willis going to be alive? Do we know that? Because if you guys seen the second film, I Still Know, that dream sequence, it gets you wondering, is he alive? But then you get the I'll always know. I guess technically he's supposed to be dead because it's almost like a supernatural being that's in the fisherman outfit, which I thought was pretty whacked out, tripped out. Like I said again, to me, I don't count that as an official sequel to the first two films. It was bullshit if you ask me. It was direct to video. It was never in theater. At least from what I know. I remember going to the video store here in town where I live at, and I saw it to rent in the 2 for $1 section. I rented it for the 2 for $1 section. I said, I gotta see this. I got to see this film. And it's like, I go in there and I watch it, and I'm like, oh, after I finish watching I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer, I'm like, oh, this was one of the dumbest movies I've ever seen, the worst. This has nothing really to do with the first two films that came before it. The only thing that kind of links it to it is that, I guess, I don't think they ever mentioned Ben Willis's name in the first one, or in the third film, or in the third film, and I'll Always Know. But I mean, it was like supernatural. The character was dead. It was a supernatural character, and I thought, man, this is really tripped out, crazy, and whacked out. So, uh, yeah, I mean, we got to think too. The late Anne Heche. What a hell of an actress she was. She passed away a couple of years ago. Like was in a car accident, got burned to death and stuff like that. Didn't survive the wounds and whatnot. But she was in the first one. She played David Egan's sister in the first film. Um, I know she was in the Psycho remake. I believe she played Marion Crane. I believe she played Marion Crane. I know Julianne Moore played Lila Crane in that, but some women can rock the short hair look. If you ask me, Anne Heche to me kind of looked better with the long hair. Jamie Lee Curtis can definitely rock the short hair look. Some women can do it. Jamie Lee Curtis can rock the short hair look, but there's other women. Anne Heche, no offense, Anne Heche, it just didn't look right on her, the short hair. I didn't like it on her. But I think you have to have like a certain type of look in order to rock a short hair like that if you're a woman. But Anne Heche just didn't have that, but Jamie Lee had that because Jamie Lee looked the way she did. She looked good. But see here, I'm just wondering what other people are going to be in this movie besides. Other than Freddie Prinze Jr. and Jennifer Love Hewitt, I don't know any of the cast from the new film. I don't know any of them. I don't watch much TV, guys. I mean, I do the gym. I mean, I work full time. I kayak on the weekends if the weather's nice. Hopefully, I'm going to be doing that tomorrow. It's a little bit cold today, so that's why I'm not doing that today. But I don't know any of these actresses or actors that are in the film besides Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. I don't know any of them. If you guys have seen any of them in any films, let me know how good they are. It's really going to be interesting. Who is going to be the new final girl or the new final couple? Who is it going to be? You gotta really wonder. And how old is the killer going to be? Is it going to be an older person or is it going to be someone around these young kids' age? What are we really going to get into? And this is the fun and excitement because it's going to keep you guessing. Just like with Scream 7, I'm so hyped up about that film. I'm taking opening day off from work to see that film. I'm going to take that day off because I tell you right now, I'm not going to be able to sleep the night before Scream 7 comes out. I can tell you right now. I got to see it Friday, the day it comes out, the official day. They'll show like late showings of it like on a Thursday night, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to wait till Friday, the official day that it comes out to see it. So it's like, that's a fun excitement about these horror films. Happy Saturday to you, Olga. That's the fun and excitement about these horror films is that you never know what to expect. You're on the edge of your seat. You're on the edge of your seat most of the time, especially with something you've never seen. Now, I remember when it was when Scream 6 came out. I knew it was going to be different. I knew that, all the rumors that were going around, you were on the edge of your seat, get in the theater. I'm sitting back, and the luxury lounge chairs, the ones that turn out into a lounge chair, I was sitting there, and I'm thinking, man, I have a bowl of popcorn with me, I usually take my mom to these movies. My friend actually joined up with us to see it, and we were just sitting there, and I'm like, you never ever know what you're gonna see. You're wondering who's the killer, who's gonna be the killer, who's gonna be, how many of them are there gonna be, like this. Now I'm really excited, because when you go back to the trailer of the new film that's coming out this July, you look at it. And right after that kid gets speared in the shoulder and gets drugged throughout his living room, whatever it was, and his girlfriend's upstairs when all this is going on, she's taking this romantic bath thing. You do see the killer walking the boots. And I kid you not, I could be wrong, I'm thinking the killer is going to be a female this time because if you look at the way the killer's walking with the boots on, it looks like a female walking. I don't know if that's the case, but like I said, I could be wrong. We could get it could be another male killer, but I would love to see it to be a female killer this time because that would be really, really, really cool. Just like with the Scream films, I'm waiting for one day we get to see two female ghost faces. That'd be epic, you know. That'd be something to see, you know. Or someone that's not not Caucasian being the killer, being one of the ghost faces in Scream. We almost had it in Scream 2 with Holly being it. Holly was going to team up with Derek until they got leaked online. They had to switch it around, but yeah, it's really really going to be something to see. I don't know what the hell is going to happen. You guys tell me in the chat. There's four of you guys here. You guys tell me, are you guys going to go see the new I Know What You Did Last Summer? And if so, do you guys get like popcorn and stuff at the theater? Or do you guys, when you guys see these horror films, you guys sit on the edge of your seat like, oh man, it's happening, it's going down. Oh, I remember my buddy. I took my buddy. Me and my buddy went to go see the first Jeepers Creepers back in early 2000. It was his first horror movie he saw in theater. He has seen horror movies before, like on DVD. And at that time, that was my second horror film I saw in theater because the first one I saw was 1989's Jason Takes Manhattan when my dad took me and my two older brothers to go see it back in the day. But every word that was coming out of his mouth when he saw the creeper, he was like, oh shit, like that. And it's like, oh man, he's really into it now, But I'm so on the edge with this movie right now. I'm hoping it delivers, and it looks like by the trailer, it looks like it delivers. But we gotta think too, how much of the stuff that was in the trailer is actually going to be in the movie? Because if you look at Scream 5, if you remember that scene when you see Ghostface's silhouette on the brick wall in the alleyway, that was only in the trailer. That was not in the film. So it's really, really going to be interesting to see what actually happens of what's going to be in the film from the trailer and what's going to be taken out. But yeah, I'm all game for it. I'm all game for it. When it comes to horror, I go for it because it's the thrill, the fun of it. I know some people out there don't like horror films. I mean, I get that, I understand that. That's your thing. But I think too, if people do like horror films, nobody should be bashing anybody because they like them. I've seen these at a young age. It was by accident. If I can remember back then, I was like 4 or 5 years old at the time, and I saw Friday the 13th. That was my very first horror movie that I seen, and it's my favorite franchise. Along, like with Scream, the Scream franchise is my second favorite. So it didn't turn me out to be a psycho killer, but I know I can understand why some people, that watch these things, like me, they understand that this is just a movie. We're normal people, and it does really get you thinking about certain things too. Because, like I said, if I don't do last summer, it's based in reality, like Scream. Anybody can dress up in a fisherman slicker and do these type of killings, versus Jason or Michael Myers or Freddy Krueger. Those are fictional characters, I mean, those characters there, you can't really kill them. Michael, you can. I mean, if you saw the ending to Halloween Ends, Freddy, not too much, not really. Jason, he's nearly indestructible. That can't happen in real life. But like doing a Scream, somebody dressed up as Ghostface and doing killings, that can happen in real life because it's not a monster. It's a human being doing these killings. But technically, your real life monsters are ones that do these types of killings out there. So just like the whole thing that kind of was really disturbing. Now, off the top of I know this summer, but the first sleepaway camp, when finding out that Angela Baker was really a boy, not a female, and she's in a cabin with all females. I thought that was very, very disturbing, and I'm like, that to me was more frightening than anything. Like even with Mrs. Voorhees when she goes nuts going after Alice, mimicking Jason's voice, speaking in Jason's voice, get her, mommy, get her, and kill her, don't let her live, and stuff like that. That's actually what a real person can go through because you look at that. Say if a loved one gets killed by accident, like in this film here, it's enough. Like with Ben Wells, he got hit, and he wanted vengeance. He, from what we know, Ben Wells killed the guy in the first film, the guy sitting on the rocks in the first film, because if I remember correctly, that guy was driving. I believe he was driving drunk and crashed and killed Ben Wells' daughter because he was, I believe, either dating Ben Wallace's daughter at that time, but killed her in the car crash, and that's enough to make a parent. Some parents can go ballistic and ape shit and stuff like that. And it doesn't have to be right away. A parent can go nutty like that. It can be years down the road. Years down the road, they can be perfectly normal. Yeah, it's going to be traumatic when it actually happens with their child getting killed and stuff. But then they gradually are fine, a couple of years after that or beyond that, and then all of a sudden something triggers that, and they go crazy, whacked out. It's happened before. I know it has happened before in real life. Vengeance stories. Oh, what it was I'm killing somebody because my her boyfriend killed her in a car crash. That was an accident. Now I'm gonna go ahead and kill him and get my revenge and everything else. What does that prove, guys? It doesn't prove a damn thing because your daughter is dead. It's down to the God truth. But that's why I find Scream, I Know What You Did, in the first Friday the 13th to be more scarier, with the whole aspect, because you do have real life psychopaths out there that, have had shit like this happen to them, and they do this type of shit. That's basically what it is. So, yeah, I mean, it's really going to be interesting to see this film. I'm going to see it July 19th. I'm going to get my bucket of popcorn. I'm going to sit there, be on the edge of my seat, as always. And I'm going to be seeing who's going to get. No, I don't yell at this screen and says, don't go down that hall. Don't open that door. I don't do any of that. But I know some people do, I've been in the theater seeing horror movies a long time, It's like I've never heard anybody around here do that. But I wish I can go turn around and walk up down the aisles and see if these people are just cringing like, oh, what's gonna happen next? What's gonna happen next? This one already got it. Oh man, don't open that door, please. Don't open that door. We don't know what's behind that door. Even if if you want to take something in reality too, My Bloody Valentine, Harry Warden. That's a character. That's pretty much based in reality because it's a human being, not an actual, fictional monster. The character's fictional in the movies, but it's played by a human being, not a monster, like Jason or Michael or Freddy or Leatherface and whatnot. But yeah, it's really, like I said, it's really going to be interesting to see what is going to happen. And I think a lot of people are going to wonder. And I just hope when they come up with the second trailer for this film that they don't add any more new scenes, because we don't need it to turn out like Halloween Kills, where we reveal 2 or 3 kills in the scene. I think this trailer here was good enough. Leave it the way it is. But Hollywood, the studios aren't going to give a damn what us fans think. We're going to put out another trailer, then we're going to put out a third trailer, then we're going to put out a final trailer, and then that'll be it. And then we got a couple of TV spots here and there, and that's how it goes, guys. I know some people complain and bitch and complain about like especially these comic book movies. I love comic book movies myself too, don't get me wrong, but when you get to some of these characters where, the storyline doesn't match with the comics, it's, it's studio in Hollywood. They're going to make it different from what the comic books are, that's just basically what it is, But, with further ado, I mean, we're at almost 40 minutes into the live stream here. Awesome live stream I've had. I used to be camera shy, guys. I don't know if you guys ever noticed that, but not anymore, it seems like. But, yeah, let me know in the comments below. I mean, what are you guys hyped up to see the new film? I know I am. Do you think Ray is going to die? Do you think Julie... I don't think Julie is going to die in this film. There's no freaking way. There's absolutely no way. I can probably see Ray going, maybe. But, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Who out of the new stars is going to make it out alive in this film? Are they going to make a sequel to it? I hope they do. We're just going to have to wait and see. But with further ado, that's it. That's all I got for right now. I got another live stream coming up later on this evening. It's going to be my top 20 horror films of all time. Be ready for that one. I'm probably going to live stream that maybe around 6, 7 o'clock tonight. I got the list written down. I really had to stop and think about my number 20 spot, but I do have 4 Friday the 13th on this list for tonight coming up. So be on the lookout for that. Maybe around 6, maybe around 7. We'll have to wait and see. But without further ado, guys, that's all I got for right now. Take care and see you guys in the next one.